In our last video, we broke down how caffeine actually works on your body. The 2012 study that showed us how much caffeine binds to adenosine receptors, what a safe dose looks like, the true meaning of half-life, and the downsides that come with it. And I left you with a question. If caffeine can lead to all these downsides, why is it still one of the most consumed beverages in the world? What are we missing? Welcome back to part 2. Today, we're shifting to the bright side. We'll be debunking some myths and misconceptions and breaking the safe side protocols, give you your missing manual for coffee. Hello everyone, welcome to Modus. This is your missing manual for life. Here we break down the science behind our daily habits and show you exactly how to manage them. So, let's get back to question. What are we missing? Why is it still one of the most consumed beverages in the world? Well, that because everything have its pros and cons. Caffeine pros are 1. It boosts your energy level. You probably figured out why. As we said before, it is because it's set to your adenosine receptors. 2. May link to lower risk of diabetes type 2. Drinking coffee regularly might do more than just boost your energy. Studies suggested it could actually help lower your long-term risk of type 2 diabetes. Comprehensive meta-analysis of 30 separate studies revealed that every daily cup of coffee correlated with a 6% reduction in type 2 diabetes risk. This protective effect is likely driven by coffee's role in maintaining pancreatic beta cell function, responsible for secreting insulin, which play a pivotal role in modulating blood glucose homeostasis. 3. Lower depression. Research indicates a potential correlation between coffee intake and a decreased incidence of depression. Notably, a study involving 40,000 students demonstrated that individuals consuming at least 4 cups daily had a significantly lower risk profile compared to those who limit their intake to a single cup. 4. Could increase our life age. Evidence from blood analysis encompassing 40 different studies indicate a significant correlation between longevity and coffee consumption. Specifically, maintaining a daily intake of 2 to 4 cups is linked to a reduced risk of overall mortality, a finding that remains consistent across various demographics, regardless of age, body mass index, or lifestyle habits. 5. May enhance your athletic performance. Most people think coffee is just for staying awake, but for athletes, it's a powerful ergogenic aid, a literal performance enhancer. And it is not just for a boost. Research on 126 older adults proved that coffee drinkers move faster and perform better physically, regardless of their age or fitness level. I also want to mention compelling evidence indicates that caffeine acts as a neuroprotective agent against conditions such as Parkinson and Alzheimer's. Research suggests that consuming 3 to 5 cups of coffee daily during middle age is strongly associated with a decreased likelihood of developing dementia in later years. Now, before we travel to final section of video, I want to break down some questions and misconceptions about caffeine. If you don't want to hear it, you can shuffle to minutes that appear on the screen. First, does caffeine make you dehydrate during exercise? There's a common misconception that caffeine consumption is linked to your workouts. Well, actually, factors like a sweat rate, fluid replacement, and genetics play a much larger role than caffeine intake. As mentioned, caffeine is a powerful stimulant, so any dehydration issues are not caused by caffeine itself, but rather by fluid replacement during exercise. Second, does caffeine affect upper body performance strength differently than lower body performance? I don't think this question would cross your mind, but you maybe want to sleep at night and one of these questions come on your mind. Well, due to various factors such as the type of the activity, muscle mass, and individual differences, the majority of evidence suggests that acute caffeine consumption does not affect the lower body differently than the upper body. Third, can caffeine kill you? You might be panicking now, but don't worry. Caffeine is only dangerous when doses increase to 5000 mg, which is not in the case for people who consume caffeine normally, like you and me. 4. Does coffee work for everyone? Caffeine works differently, and people for whom coffee doesn't work are rare. This question needs more research and studies. Now we will talk about my and our missing manual. How to stay in safe zone and still drink coffee. 1. Be on your safe dosage. You remember before when we said that 400 mg is the maximum dosage? But what I recommended for you is to stay on less than that, especially if you are sensitive. Why would you even rocket to a mountain in the first place if you don't have something very important to accomplish? Second, enhance performance with no caffeine. No, I don't mean no caffeine at all, but why do I even drink it on Friday if this is my day off or I am at vacation? For me, there used to be some weeks where going without coffee. Only one time I use it per week. This will help me to be at my maximum performance with coffee. If total abstinence is too taxing, consider a tiered reduction in your daily caffeine intake for 1 to 3 weeks. By lowering your baseline, returning to your standard dose on the day of the challenge will maximize the neurochemical response, significantly boosting mood, energy, and cognitive performance. But be aware, listen to third point to understand me. Third, do not quit coffee suddenly. Remember when I said adaptive change? When I said up regulation? More adenosine receptors mean more adenosine to bind to it. So like if you are totally count on coffee for your exams and work, then you want to quit it suddenly, man, coffee will break your heart because you will struggle to focus for like 2 to 4 days. You will experience fatigue and mood change and headache. To avoid the harsh side effects of quitting coffee, try easing off it gradually, slowly scaling back to your intake over a couple of weeks. It's much more manageable for your system than stopping it all at once. 4. Don't drink it before bedtime. I already break down what a half-life and how much caffeine will stay in your body. So, avoid caffeine for at least 10 to 12 hours before bedtime. This will improve your sleep so much if you are think the coffee is the problem. 5. Watch out for hiding caffeine. Caffeine isn't just in your coffee, it's a hiding guest in sodas, lemonades, and even fruit refreshers. You will find it naturally in green and black teas, and even your snacks. A single bar of 50% dark chocolate can pack around 70 mg. If you are tracking your intake to avoid a crash, always check the labels on supplementals and treats. It's often hidden where you least expect. This was my missing manual for caffeine. Understanding your body's chemistry is the ultimate hack to enjoying life without a crash. This was my first 2 videos, and we are just getting started. If you are ready for a long journey ahead, hit subscribe. I don't know where the next video gonna publish, next week or a couple of weeks, but I will see you in the next one. Adios.